Alright, let's see what
She must say it's good.
I have to, you have to really get up and do it. You can't just tell.
Well, get up there. Get up, Pearl. It's kind of like...
It's a little bit nasty now, down.
Not bad.
It ain't really nasty, but
It
it's a
ain't
little
bad.
bit.
It's cute.
Well, if it's okay for the tape, it's okay.
It is okay for the tape, it's okay for the kids.
This old woman went downtown shopping one day, and she goes in this store, and she decides to buy her a new hat that day. She goes in there and she picks out this real pretty hat. And so she said, well, since I got this hat, I don't think I'm going to put it in a bag. I believe I'm going to wear this thing today. He said, okay, that's fine. We won't bag it up for you. So she gets her hat and she puts it on her head. And she goes outside. Well, in the meantime, this wind has done got the blowing and around, She goes out there on the sidewalk, and she was going down the sidewalk, and the wind was whipping her dress up everywhere, and this old man comes and said, ma'am, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. I said, what you talking about? I said, that wind is whipping your dress up, and they can just see everything on your dress. And she said, well, 80-year-old woman don't have to worry about nothing, So she keeps on, said to keep on, so go on to another place, and ma'am, you ought to be ashamed. You kept on watching everybody said everything you got. Said, look, mister, let me ask you one question. This thing is 80 years old. This thing on my head is brand new. Now, which one would you hold on to?
Delmer wasn't even listening.
Yeah, right. I guarantee
Mama, tell your story about Ronnie.
I didn't tell you my story.
No.
Turn around. I don't know if y'all like
What
it.
did you hear? Okay, I heard something in the kitchen. I didn't know it was in the kitchen. Hell, we was all in one room.
Well, that was where was Mom's and Dad's bedroom.
I know, but I didn't know it was the kitchen.
Yeah. Well,
And I heard this noise making this whining sound. And I said, Amberjean, you was in bed with me.
after that 4D.
And I said, Amberjean, I hear something. You said, shut your mouth, girl, and turn over and go to sleep. Said, that ain't nothing but the owls out there howling. And I got up next morning and went in the kitchen. We all went, I always went to the kitchen because, God, that's where we had to eat. I mean, that's the first thing we done. And there was a little old pasteboard box, and Mary was there, and Daddy was by the stove with a little new baby. It was Ronnie. I said, darn, it come out of the catalog. See, it wrote my catalog. I thought it did. I really did. But Imogene knew. She said she didn't know she got married. She knew because she told me to shut up and go to sleep. Turn back up and go to sleep. She knew. I know she did. But I didn't. It was a long time before I knew where they come from.
We just thought Mama got fat everything.
Yeah, well, say she was so fat anyway, you couldn't tell.
Oh.
It's that time. I couldn't tell no difference.
You better not be talking about it. She might watch this video.
Then we knew there it was again. She hated the smell of bloom.
She always has hated the lawn.
She hated it, but then make her.
But she didn't like all
But
those
she liked to fry frog legs. Didn't
No!
she?
Whoa! Back that up again.
I heard she liked to cook frog legs.
She did.
So well to what? What
Well,
did she do?
threw it out.
it was split.
No.
First time she started cooking them, yeah, and they started jumping, and she threw that skillet and the frogs and everything out that back door. She did. She honest to God did.
Well, what about the catalog that time when y'all was sitting on the
Mary
doorstep?
Opal. Mary Opal.
Mary Opal's one. She wasn't worried about the babies floating or drowning. It was that catalog. She said, get the catalog.
The high
get the
water
catalog.
was up?
Yeah.
And it
we
was
sitting
up
on
on
the
the
porch.
doorstep.
Right.
Doorstep.
About 7, 8 feet deep
Oh
on
yeah,
the
and it was
doorstep.
like 7 or 8 kids sitting on them doorsteps along the
I
barrel.
was one of
And
them.
wait, she was the oldest.
And one of them fell off in the
That's
water
right.
with the catalog.
Did she worry about the kids? Ask her what she worried about.
The catalog.
There were 7 kids and 1 Sears.
It was Roy Senior Daddy got us out.
And
Right. But you married word?
all she said was, get the catalog.
I remember.
And
She knew look, Mom and Dad get another kid.
I remember
They were
Mama.
loud as one
Was
came
it Mama or Daddy once said, "Down the cat boss, hurry up."
You can't get Lori. He ought to know.
You can't get Darcy.
See, I know something that y'all don't know about.
What's that?
Do y'all remember that big old tar bat over on the hill where they tarred the dead?
Yeah.
And one of you kids, I don't know which one of you girls it was, got over there one day, was playing around in it and fell over in it.
Oh, ask Janine. That's why
We call each other tar baby all the time.
Give a blackest color.
No,
I know, but
she
she's
would call tar baby all the
She
time.
called it. I didn't know
But
about
wait a
it.
minute, y'all hadn't heard the rest of it.
I didn't know about it. Go
You
ahead.
hadn't heard the rest of it.
Why they call it tar baby?
Mr. Zena reached over and caught every who it was by the hair of the head and pulled it down. And your daddy said, "I'll throw it back in. I can get a new one quick enough and clean that up."
Oh my God! You lied. But it was hard.
Yeah, I can get a new one easy and I can clean that up.
I wonder where she got her name.
It was already how you thought got the name Tar Baby. Yeah, Dad said just drop her back down in there that he could get a baby back.
She fell over the tar bat and Roy Zener pulled her out by the hair of the head. And Daddy said, drop her back. I can get another one easier and I can clean that lawn. But Edie said it.
Oh, my.
That wasn't so.
Delbert said he knew it was, so I know he was there.
Yeah, well, he said it, but what? It sure sounded good.
Miss Roy, we making up a lot of stuff.
Edie came back and told the truth about
Well,
it.
each one was
but it
called
did
tar
sound-
baby.
But it did
And
sound
I thought
pretty
she
good.
played on a tar bat all day. We thought she fell in it. Ain't that right, Each
Well, it's nothing like when
I
me
had
and
to help
Janine
Daddy.
was little, we was about,
Oh,
you know, we was about 5 or 6 years old, you know, Daddy had this, where he tarred his nets, he would lay them on these big old long logs, you know, and we was playing on one day, you know, we just kind of doing these flips, you know, flipping over these logs. Well, it wasn't really pose is what it was, you know. We was flipping over them, you know, and it wasn't too many cars come back there back in them days, you know. And, well, you know, we'd get to go out at marriage, you know. Well, her name was Opal back then, you know. But we went to her house, you know, and when we was little, and we'd get to spend some summers with her, and she'd buy us, you know, a few new things, you know. Well, I went there that summer, and she bought me some silk drawers. Well, they really wasn't silk; they was just old acetate, but we thought they were silk. You know? So we got them silk drawers, and I come on home with them, you know. So we was on this old pose, and me and Janine was out there playing, and I was the only one that had silk drawers. Janine didn't have none. You know, all back then, all our panties was made out of flour sacks, you know. So, well, I got these silk drawers on that day, and me and Janine was flipping over these pose, you know, and I'd flip over every time we see a car, which wasn't very often. And I said, Janine, here comes another car. Let me have the panties. I pulled my silk drawers off and let her have them, and she took off. And they always said, okay, Janine's here tonight, so she would vouch for me as a fool. Well, I had silk drawers, and every time a car come, we'd flip over and let cloudy, cloudy, sickle.
The way I heard it, the way I saw it, it was a clothesline pole.
No, it's where you ladies were.
No, it was pole.
It was pole.
It was pole.
Where ladies
And where Mama hung the clothes.
No. This is where ladies
That's
went.
poles out
Where
there.
the Tories
Flip
live.
over.
Tardy's nets and laid them on his post.
She's true.
We was flipping things.
I wish she was.
And we were singing this song. Well, one of us had flour sack drawers, one of us had silk ones. Every once in a while, we swap. We'd all get to have a good time in them silk drawers.
Right. Y'all share.
We shared everything back in them days.
That's right.
Hey, Maureen, do you remember your...
And he's always barefooted. He lived over there in the river.
Yeah,
And he'd
I
always put the watermelon in the, where the spring was so it'd get cold.
Yeah, I remember
So
that
put it
too.
in
I remember him trying to give me some money.
That's right.
Yeah, but not for a darn thing. 'Cause back then, I really didn't know why he was giving the money. Now now.
Did you ever find out?
Not at that time, I did. Because after I was older, I realized what was going on. But nothing happened.
Stars, telephone.
Well, he was getting happy.
He was always barefooted.
and happy.
And yeah, and he lived over there on the river, and there was springs. And he'd set the watermelons under the spring and get them real cold. You didn't need no refrigerator or anything.
You met any he didn't have one anyway.
No, I know it, but it wouldn't need it.
Anyway, he got gars, caught the gars and ground it up.
Yeah.
He had gar meat and sausage.
Yeah, sausage out of
Gar.
yeah.
You remember that?
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
See, I tell you, we done things like that. I never did know what I got done with them nickels and quarters. I really know what I'm supposed to do with them. I spent them, I think, on.
What about Mary? When one of her boyfriends was asked Daddy could he take her out to this tent show down here, and Daddy said the only way you could do that is you pay her way in and you can crawl under the tent, but you're not going to let her crawl under the tent too. That was deep.
Did you hear that? Do you remember that? I never did. I don't remember that. Well, it was probably like one of them ballad wizards.
No, this is
true.
Was this real true?
I remember.
What was his real name?
Dinky?
Dinky's all I remember.
Dinky McLean.
Hey, I got something good to tell you.
I remember whenever Herman and I were dating, and I guess we must have been about the 10th grade.
Go ahead and tell that,
because if you don't tell it all, I'm going to tell some more.
And
she ain't
because
got
he drove the school bus, and the water was up, and
She's going to tell it.
we always, we had to go out in the boat from the house to the levee, park the boats, and then Herman would come pick us up. He wasn't supposed to, but he did. And we were late coming in. I don't know where we'd been to a ball game.
No,
practice. Church. I don't know where we'd been. But anyway, Ronnie was with us, little smart. Ronnie, we went everywhere we went.
He's 40 years old.
Uh-huh.
He had big eyes.
All them girls went home, and Ronnie too, in one boat. And they left me a boat so me and Herman could smooch a little bit. So,
And
as soon as Ronnie hit the door, he said, Daddy, Herman is kissing Hermantine over yonder. Daddy hops in that motorboat, and when I
Like
did
a
that,
shotgun, probably.
when I had that motorboat cranked, man, I hit that boat so fast and got my paddle and started paddling home, man. And he met me and he said, get in the boat.
And he hooked that
And hooked my boat to his and took me home. And he didn't do nothing to me.
Sure did scare you,
It
didn't
sure scared the daylights out of me.
Tell him about that time all us come from church and we'd all walking over behind the bed
Yeah.
there, all us girls with the boyfriend.
Yeah.
We was
Oh,
cutting up
man.
and giggling, laughing, and hollering,
Oh, we
screaming.
were screaming.
I know it.
Yeah, we was having a good time though. and we'd almost home and he's up at that little ramp with a shotgun.
He sure
He
was.
said, girls, are y'all all right? We said, yeah, we all right. And he said, just want to check it out. I heard y'all holler down here. I thought them boys was after y'all.
I don't think them boys ever came back to see
Them
us.
boys never did come back to see us.
No, them boys, now, yeah, I know when he went to
That's named to the Furnisses. Don't bring that up.
we forgot about that.
Whoever's bouncing up Jody, you know
Herman
the
cut
bridge,
my
you
wood
said
and
he-
brought my water in and washed my dishes.
Under the tent, somebody, they'll be there and they'll hit him with the log side.
Yeah, you know, even after married, Herman done all the dishes. I swear. He did.
He's still doing it,
He's
son.
still doing them dishes.
Now,
You
y'all-
know what?
I heard that when Deb,
That's the truth. Weren't you allergic?
I am allergic to soap, yeah.
I know that's why she's put that cologne on. So strong, she forgets to use soap when it takes a bath.
Grandma told me when Dad was real little, after she get through dressing him, he'd run out in the road and get naked, wouldn't he?
Oh,
Oh, Daddy did that all the time. I mean, every time he went out the door, he pulled his clothes off.
And you know what he
And his
did?
neighbors would call and say, Miss Furniss, your baby's out here without the clothes on. I said, well, that's all right. Just send him home.
He'd get out there in the
Christy,
highway.
stop bouncing it before I get in trouble. I've already got in trouble.
And he wouldn't get out. He'd just lay down and look
And
over
Gary,
somebody
don't
come run
bounce him
over.
either.
And he wanted
I know.
attention.
Then he'd say, well, I'm just going to run away from home. And I'd say, pack your suitcase. I haven't packed your suitcase. It's like, go to it.
Eddie packed Jeff. He
Yeah,
went
I
next door
love
to
it.
Grandma Furniss. He ran away a bunch of times.
Dave Mitchell run away a lot of times, too. But he always came back from his next meal, did he?
You didn't get very far.
You gonna have to tell that guy I'm not going with him because I'm not going. She said, I'm not gonna lie for nobody. I said, I'll go back in the canoe at the back of the lake and I'm gone. I said, I'm not gonna be here. So I did. And I wasn't there.
But you still didn't know what the reputation was?
I learned later.
Oh.
Who was it?
I don't even remember his name. All I know is he just wanted to
Did he
date.
get a
and
reputation?
I was old
You know
enough to
it was
date.
good
I
or
was
bad?
16 years old or 17.
And she didn't know what a bad reputation was.
She
Well,
really didn't.
Every time anybody wanted to tell anything that amounted to anything, I was so bashful and timid. I wanted to hear it, but I was too shy to listen. So I'd leave. So I never did learn anything until after I got married.
You ain't learned much.
And you and Jesse knew each other 5 months when y'all got
Are you
married.
the shoulder holder?
2 months.
Oh, I thought it was 5, like me and
He's
Jesse.
got to go get some cigarettes. I was going
Oh, I
to
thought
buy
it was
cigarettes.
5.
But that's all right. We've been married 40 years, so I guess it's okay.
I guess so.
How many kids you got?
You ready,
3.
Shoulder holder.
I thought he told these.
I want to ride and get me a little
I
bit.
had got 2 calls
she's
tonight on my
in
car,
California.
and it ain't even running.
Where'd you go when the gym started?
I was so crazy then, and it didn't make a bit of sense, did it?
It didn't matter.
And he said, well, he's come back and get me. I didn't believe it, so I
So
just
you
went
stayed
ahead and
out there,
stayed out
didn't
there and married him.
You knew you may not
Oh,
get
we-
another chance.
That's
didn't you?
right.
This is gossip.
But you knew he was the right one, didn't you?
That's another story.
He just felt like that was the
No,
right.
she didn't think it was the right one. She thought it was the only one.
I was gonna say. That's what I was
Boy,
gonna
she
say.
hit the head on the nail that time.
She thought it, Joey, she thought down there it may not be no
The only one.
Well, everybody said ain't he told you they only had one boyfriend, and that's Uncle Jesse.
Oh, she
Didn't
had
have
some more she
She
liked
did?
too.
Class ring, but he said
I didn't lose my class ring.
he says you
Herman
did.
was washing the car to come to see me.
He says you lost it.
I wasn't even
Let's
with
get
it.
Herman in here. Delmer, you want to get Herman in
I
here?
wasn't even with
I'm
it.
gonna get Granddaddy.
He's the one that lost the class ring. I didn't
To
have
hear him tell it, he took it off his
Then
finger
she
and showed
showed
it to
Dawson's
me.
way.
Yeah, I
Cause
heard
it got
about that. Yeah. But Herman still says Jean lost his class ring.
Yeah.
See?
No, I wasn't even with
He
you.
said, yeah, between here and Ringler on the car or something when he was washing the car or something.
They still think that. He still thinks.
Well, Grandma, tell us about. And you know they've been swimming or something like that.
I don't know, honey. They did so much. I tried so much that I
Well,
couldn't
tell us
see what
something they did.
I remember when we were going to school at Graham School, which was a country 2-room school, kindergarten through the 8th grade, and I was in kindergarten, so I don't know what grade Homo was in, about 6. And the teacher called him in, him and this other guy, Ian, to talk to her in the office. Well, she didn't really have an office. And she said, Homer, why did you TT on Leighton Farm? All we had, our school had back then was outside toilets. And he TT'd them through the cracks on Leighton. I don't know. And he said, why did you TT on Homer? I mean on Leighton Farm. I remember that.
Surely you would.
You wouldn't forget a thing like that, would you?
I was only in kindergarten, but I remember.
You just in the crack.
Yeah, you know how them outdoor toilets was. You could throw the cat through them out. Inside or out, either one. But that's the penis.
Grandma, if you had to name something about each of your kids, like you said, Brenda, when she was young, she acted like so-and-so and so-and-so, what would you name for all of your kids?
Gee, I don't know.
You're on Candy Cameron, I remember this.
Is everybody gonna tell that little story? The frog jumped like a frog, and
And he
he
still jumps like a
usually
frog.
would tell me yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am, to everything I asked him to do. It didn't mean he did it, but he always was real nice.
Are
Said
girls
yes,
better
ma'am,
than
and no,
boys?
ma'am. I'd send him to the store after something. I'd give him $10. It cost 15 cents, and I never would see no money back.
We done him by that way.
Okay, then Mitch comes along, and that's the worst young you ever saw in your life. He climbed everything in the house that was climbable.
And he was eating Delmer's tail. Out of
Yeah,
your bunch.
I know it is devil kicking. That's that is reason it's so mean, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon.
It finally got so bad at night until we would just finally, give up on him. He climbed out of his baby bed. He wasn't even a year old. And he climbed out of his baby bed and turned the television on. We just finally go to bed and let him have it.
Leave him up.
Son, you can crawl back in that baby bed when you get ready. So, but he always told me the truth. No matter how many dirt jokes or what he heard in school, he'd come home and tell Mama what he heard. And if I give him money to go to the store, I always got every cent back.
So you can't say too much
No,
about it.
and he always told me though, he said,
I'm sure you can find something
you're
bad.
so mean until I would never hurt you, I wouldn't hit you if you were dying. He said, you're so mean, when you get old, I ain't gonna do nothing for you. And now, here he is, the only one I've got that
Does everything
that
for you.
takes care of us, that's right.
Not
Then
that
along comes Brenda
Go back.
4 years later, and she didn't have a change for time. When we were living over at Grenada, Mitchell chased her in the house one day and chased her through a glass door.
And his wire
And
tooth
cut,
chip.
cut her all
That's
up. Now he knocked her down on the television and broke her tooth.
Chip
And
her
then
tooth.
chipped her tooth. She really didn't have a chance.
I threw a broom at her.
And even if Brenda was sitting here right now, and you say something about the tooth, she said, well, he didn't mean to. That's what Brenda said, if she was sitting here right now. Wouldn't she, Judy? Well, he didn't
She
mean
never
to.
asked for a thing. She was always independent.
So you think girls are better than boys?
Well,
No,
I
she
wouldn't
can't
say
say
that.
Well, me and Larry shot BB guns at each other.
I'm sure
Better
you
than
did
shooting
everything
broom.
in the world.
In the house.
But see,
In the
Brandon
house,
didn't do everything.
When Ronnie come up for Christmas one year, my kids got new bikes and they got pogo sticks. And where do I find Ronnie and Larry and Mitchell?
In the house doing their pogo
In the
stick.
middle of my bed with the pogo stick. Jumping up and down, and then the first thing I know, there's a hole in the wall where the Ronnie let the pogo stick go with a hole in the wall. And then Brenda got married kind of young.
And then you had to raise Jim and David.
And then here comes
Start
Jim and
over.
Dave, start all over. Jim was like Larry. He'd say yes ma'am, no ma'am, and then go do what he wanted to.
But Jim,
David might say yes ma'am, no ma'am, but he always come home and told you what he did, what he, didn't matter for him.
Even if he got in trouble, he'd tell you.
Larry, Jim never give me a cent back. David bring the money back, whatever I sent him back. And he didn't.
Like Larry.
I know it. They're just raised two just about
and,
alike.
and Grandma.
really
I know it. And
Grandma.
question 21.
And Sean and Derek are
Larry
like
and Mitch
Larry
look
and
just
Mitchell
like
too,
Larry
aren't they,
and
Judy,
Mitch.
kind of?
Didn't they? Exactly.
When
You
Mitchell,
bring the money.
Mitchell and Larry was about, I don't know, I guess they was about 15, 17. They had a fight in here, back young in the bedroom, or they didn't get to the bedroom, just got to the hall. And Larry had Mitchell down just to bounce his head up against that concrete floor. And I had to get a belt and get him off of him. And
See,
when I
Mason
finally got him
has
off
that. Mason
of him,
has temper like that.
then they both got the belt, but Larry got the worst belt. But my kids always,
I can't stand it. My
Lay
kid
down
whooped
across
her
the bed
for
and let
something
it
I didn't even
Yeah,
do.
I mean, if they had sense enough to know they better, their daddy would get them.
Yeah.
So I
Tell
mama
the
didn't
story about
hurt.
behind the levee about Mitchell and Larry. I'll never forget that, about the whippings.
Oh.
About whippings.
You tell them about
They
that, because
got
I don't remember about
Oh,
whipping.
doing
I remember Herman dragging, and this was not David's fault. Down at Edith's one night, Ronnie was in there egging on about niggers. He thought niggers was all right. He went in service with niggers, and he's all right to go with niggers and all that. And of course, David, he decides he'll go in with Ronnie. Of course, me and Herman don't go in with Ronnie. We don't think that's right. So Herman finally got so mad at Ronnie till he took it out on David, and he went to whip him, and he was beating the child to death. I mean, I had to go pull him off of him. And he really was, just 'cause he was mad at Ronnie for talking bad. You a little bit of Ronnie? Uh-huh. Ronnie was mean. I mean, he was always into
He was
something.
just
Sport rotten. He started
Sure, one that's policeman, one that's stupid up there doing camera.
10
One
grand
that,
young'uns, I mean,
this stuff.
11 grand young'uns and another on the way.
One that moved the mountain off my foot.
11 and one on the way. I was going to make me an y'all taste
Her
either.
closest eyes. Jimmy's the only one.
Oh, Christy, did you really? You don't do that very often, do you? About once a year, maybe?
I tried to kiss him at my birthday party this weekend.
But he didn't let you.
Did he
Did
run
he run
away
from you?
He said, leave me alone.
He did? He said, leave me alone?
He said, I don't like you. Him ran to the boys' bathroom. He said he didn't like me, then he winked at me, didn't he? He's so ugly, too. No, I was over there, he winked at me. I was over there with And then,
Oh, he was
remember
winking at Christy, but Gina thought he was
No.
winking at her.
No, he did wink at her. He winked at her and then he said, no, Christy, he said, I don't like you. Then he looked over there at me and winked at me. I'm sitting here like, you're ugly. He blushes on the bus. My best friend asked him, and he blushes real bad. I just love to hear him talk. I kiss my body.
Y'all
But you ain't kissed
Oh, you lying
If
little,
anybody kissed
you
you,
lying little buzzard.
Yeah, like Christy said.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I hadn't kissed nobody.
No. Close your eyes, I'll give you a surprise, Sean.
Quentin, no girl say that to Sean, don't worry.
Did you French kiss or how did you kiss?
I saw him kiss at the skate ring once with his baby. Amanda? Yep. Yeah. Over there between
Between the video games.
Between Pac-Man and Super Pac-Man.
Where did you see her
Everybody
kissing, Sean? Where did you
That's
see?
where everybody kisses.
Did you
Where
see
did,
Gina
oh, is that
kissing
where
you?
everybody goes to kiss between Pac-Man? Between Pac-Man and Super Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Well, there's a little opening.
Yeah.
A little bitty opening. And there's in the corner, there's a door right here in the corner, and that's where everybody likes their boyfriends. Yeah. On the video game.
And y'all, she don't let them all go skate?
Just seen me. They say we just seen Gina on that plane.
where is Ginger? I think Ginger better learn some of these things.
He's taping it off. Don't show my mama. She won't. Maybe. Hope not.
Where is Jim? She didn't hear this. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, Sean.
Good home.
Oh, yeah, Amanda wanted to fight me at the game. Amanda this because he told me once.
I think I already am at home.
Oh, Mason's told me all kinds of stuff.